What are the most intense women attraction signals you're going to experience on the streak? In this video, I want to go through 4 signs or behaviors of intense women attraction that you're going to experience on the streak. And I think this is going to help you be more motivated to keep on going on your streaks and go on longer and longer. Let's get into it. The first one is just the most obvious one, and the one that is what I call the human mating signal. And this is the stare. Now, I never used to get the stare before I started semen retention. Me even being looked at by a woman was something that I would consider kind of mind-blowing. So when I started experiencing looks here and there, I used to take note of it. I used to even go home and write it down or type it down in my diary and be like, oh, I experienced it. She looked at me, because it's such a rare thing. Most guys, I've said this before, but most guys are ignored in society. So being looked at, having a woman pay attention to you is so important. But when it reaches the intensity of a stare, and this is where a woman is looking at you for like maybe 3 seconds, that is a sign of such intense attraction that it's just, you cannot ignore it. It's so hard to ignore it. So for me, when I see this happening, I just know that person is really attracted to me. And so I guess that's my chance, potentially to get a girlfriend in that sense. So yeah, it's the stare is so important, and it's for me the top indicator of attraction on a streak. And you will often find you get the stare when you're beyond certain levels. I think for me, honestly, you'd have to be beyond 60 days. And you also have to be, in my experience, you have to be in very good shape physically. So when you combine semen retention and being in good physical shape, it just creates a whole new level that is unreachable by most men. Most men are not even willing to do semen retention. And as you know, it's a rare percentage of men who are even willing to put themselves in the gym and get in shape. So when you put those two together, you're in a different category altogether. So I think that's probably the easiest way, I guess, to experience this sign of attraction. The second most intense sign of attraction is the touch. Now, the physical touch is just so blatant, and what I mean by this is that when you have female friends, this happened to me recently, and normally they just say hi to you, be like, oh, hey, how you doing, when you meet them in person. But then this time round, they say, oh, hey, hi, and they touch your chest or they touch your arms, and they just say, hey, give you a little squeeze on the arms. And this is something that is a real indicator that they're just sizing you up and seeing whether you are really that man that they can see physically by their eyes. They want to physically see with their hands, feel that energy and feel the muscularity in that sense. So that's something you're going to experience. You're going to experience women starting to size you up in that sense. And yeah, it's just something that is interesting, because most women do not want to touch a guy. I remember when I was younger, in my early 20s, when I tried to touch a woman and tried to speak to her, and to just cringe and just look at me and I'll just be really embarrassed because this woman is cringing away. But now it's the complete opposite. Now I'm like a magnet for that, especially on these longer streaks. So that's another second intense signal that you're going to experience that signals intense women attraction on the streak. The third sign of women attraction on a streak that is really intense is what I call the competition effect, the crowding effect. And you're going to experience this in social venues where there's a lot of women, and you're maybe at, say, like a concert. I've had this, to be honest, when I go to concerts, that's where I experience it the most. My most recent one that I remember was last year when I went to a Kaytranada concert. I finally went to Kaytranada concert, which I've been talking about for a long time. Yeah, I finally went to that, and I was enjoying myself. And I was standing in the corner where I thought, okay, no one's gonna care. I'm gonna be just enjoying the music. I was a few minutes into the concert, or sometime into the concert, I started experiencing where each side of me, there'll be a woman approaching me, just getting closer and closer and closer. until suddenly I was surrounded by like 5 women just like all in my space, and they're just getting like kind of surrounding me, and they're all different. They don't know each other. These women just like randomly just crowding around me, and I thought, okay, this could be because it's just the way it is, and yeah, they decided to stand there. But I looked around, and I didn't see like guys who are having like women crowding around them in that sense. It's just a very bizarre thing you're gonna experience. And the reason why I say it's a competition effect is because I've had it where I walked into a room. I'll caveat this by saying that, especially when I'm in good shape, which I am in now, actually, to be honest. When I walk into a room, a woman will just, the women will just look at me really intense, with a sign of intense attraction, and will start dancing to get closer to me. And another woman will do the same thing, and they'll be dancing with their backs to each other and trying to almost push each other away. And you can just feel that competition. You just know as a human being when someone's competing. And they'll just start doing that. They start dancing near each other, almost trying to push each other away, while trying to keep eye contact with me. And it's a very bizarre thing when you see it, because it feels like some sort of movie. It doesn't seem like it's real life when you see the competition effect. But that's something you're gonna really start experiencing. Now, the fourth sign, I realized I actually wrote down 3 intense signs. I didn't write down 4. But something that came to mind, which is something that I started experiencing. In fact, it's the first sign that I experienced that really let me know that this is real. I will never forget when I was 23. I walked into a bar. I think I was on a 21-day streak. That was my first ever time in my life going over 2 weeks of a semen retention streak. So yeah, 21-day streak. I walked into a bar, and then everything kind of went silent in a way. And I just heard whispers, and I just heard like murmurs and whispers, and that's the most interesting thing, because it's something that I used to see in movies a lot. You know, when a handsome guy walks into the room and things go silent, and people start murmuring and whispering. That happened to me. It started happening to me, and I was like, "What? Is this real life?" Like I just knew instantly that I was also, because of my energy and my potency and my presence. But it started happening again. I'm gonna admit, I started getting addicted to that attention, and that's something that it's another video, another topic for later. But yeah, I started going to bars just for that attention, because I just loved that feeling of walking into the place and things go silent, and you can just see people whispering, talking to their friends, and you just know it's because of you and your presence. So that's something you're gonna start experiencing. People start whispering and murmuring when you walk into a room. Especially the ladies. The guys, it's a different story. The guys, in my experience, you either get the respect to be like, "Are you alright?" or they're gonna get the angry face and just be like, just making angry face in silence, just having a drink and just talking to their friends in kind of jealousy and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, with that said, guys, hopefully that summarizes the intense signs of attraction you're gonna experience in the streak. And yeah, I hope this motivates you to keep on going. With that said, guys, like this video, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.